Hi guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and man, I have so many things I want to do for a video, but I was just reading out of this book, and I decided I want to read you the chapter called The Magical Year. The whole entire chapter, it's chapter 16, and it is only 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 8 small pages and 1 picture page. So we'll get through it, but it had some really cool things to talk about in YULE. And so I definitely wanted to say that now, as it's really, really close, isn't it? Okay, the magical household. This is Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. The story of this book is really cute, and I talked about it before. David Harrington kept bugging his friend Scott Cunningham, "You gotta make Magical Household, you gotta make this book." And he said finally, right before he died, like soon before he died, it's one of the last books he made. He said, "You know, David, if you want this book to be made, I think you're gonna have to co-write it with me." So they wrote it together. Oh my gosh, how special that must have been. Okay, so the magical year. The magical household feels the effects of the season as much as humans do. Household ritual practices are associated with the seasons and many ancient festivals. By following these customs, you can attune your home to the seasons and the powers behind them. Let's start with our magical year at Yule. Yay, it started at Yule. On or about December 21st. Okay, and that's when solstice happens. It's the least light of the whole year, whereas summer solstice is the most light of the whole year. This ancient pagan holiday once commemorated the births of such solar deities as Mithras. Only later did it come to be one of the most holy days of the Christian ritual calendar. The pagan customs and origins of Yule run deep, and few homes show no sign of change near the end of December. One of the most common customs, of course, is to bring a fir or pine tree indoors, where it can then be decorated. Many other magical activities can be done at this time of year. In earlier times, one of the most important was the Yule bonfire. This sacred blaze was built to give power and life to the sun, which was thought of as being reborn at the winter solstice. In later times, the fire was tamed and brought indoors in the form of a Yule log, which we made, didn't we, on my channel here. A huge limb was selected, dragged to the house, and prepared for use. Carvings of suns, figures of men, and other magical symbols were etched into the surface. I'm not done making mine. I'm going to be doing that. Okay, so, carvings of sun, figures of men, and other magical symbols were etched into the surface, and it was sometimes decorated with greens. If you wish to burn a Yule log, why not decorate it? Whip melted paraffin with a hand beater until fluffy but spreadable. Use dabs of this on the log to secure fir and cedar burrows. That's a great idea. I'm going to use my paraffin wax. I didn't want to use hot glue because I was like, this is so unnatural, and I'm going to be burning it. But paraffin wax is okay to burn, right? Because you'll burn it anyway. Yeah, I like that. Great idea. So that's how you secure things on a Yule log with nature. Or you could use sap. Use dabs of this on the log to secure fir and cedar boughs, pine cones, mistletoe, rosemary, holly, or other greens, along with the remnants of last year's log if available. That's the thing, you want to save at least a little piece of last year's log, and it will look something like this. Where did I put the log? Oh, for Pete's sakes. I had showed you just the other day the bits I had saved from my mother's fireplace. And you can just save that, like, burnt bit of your Yule log from last year to the next year, because that's the tradition of how you light it. So even if it's just the burnt stump, like, you know how your Palo Santo goes down to a little tiny thing and you, like, don't want to get rid of it, throw it into your oils. Believe me, don't get rid of it. Put it in an offering, whatever. But I'm saying your Yule log will burn down to a little bit left. Save that until the next year and start it from that. Along with the remnants of last year's Yule log, if available, set it ablaze on the evening before Yule. So that is the evening of December 20th, you guys. We need to start our Yule log on December 20th, and I've been meaning to look that up, so I will be jotting that down. And this is like a big part of what I do on this channel, is you'll see me work. You know, you'll see me look things up in books and just, I'm not going to like edit the video. I'm showing you what we're doing. We're here together. Me and you, we're best friends. You are my family. Okay, so December 20th evening. Light the Yule log. First time. Okay, so light it on December 21st, the night before Yule. Ensure that it will burn until morning. That way you're burning it into Yule, is why I'm guessing. Whoa, almost fell off there. Ensure that it will burn until the morning. Best of all is a huge log that will continue to burn for 3 days or more. But not many fireplaces can accommodate such a monster. As you sit at the hearth watching the fire, sip cider or ale, traditional beverages on this night. So, cider or ale while you watch. That would be a great time to fire scry, you guys. Into a Yule log fire on, you know, wow. Whoa. Leaves me without words how special that would be. If you do not have a fireplace, you can make a Yule candle, which is what I've done. We have a fireplace, but it is a gas fireplace, so it just looks pretty. There's just a little fake fire burning in there. But my parents have a fireplace, and I get ash from there and all kinds of stuff. And I get, like, pieces of the log to use to start the Yule log, like I'd said. But I can use those charcoal pieces, the bigger pieces of the log, for all kinds of magical workings. You can use it for drawing. You can use it for your black salt. You can use it for so many things. And to use that rather than a charcoal disc that you bought from a store, so much more magical intention into it, right? Okay, so if you don't have a fireplace, Yule candle, buy the largest, fattest red candle you can find, or better yet, make one. With an ice pick, carve a figure of a blazing sun on the side of the candle. Then place it, so putting the symbol of the sun is really important, because we are, what did it say? We're trying to, like, rebirth the sun, because we're at that halfway point from summer solstice. So, symbols of the sun. And red candles. Symbol of the blazing sun on the side of the candle, then place it on a holder or on a heat-proof tray. Ring its base with holly, pine, mistletoe, cedar, rosemary, bay, juniper, and other evergreen type plants. So what I have out of that is, and you just pick off the list, what do you have, you know? So I have pine, cedar, rosemary, bay, and juniper. And I have fresh bay, so that'll be great on that Yule log candle that I'm making. It's a Yule log with 3 candles. You could pull the candles out and burn it, you know, which is what I hope people do, but who knows. I know Peggy will do it when I tell her. Okay, burn the candle on Yule evening. If you want it to burn all night, place it in a cauldron or a large bowl and ring the cauldron itself with the greens. Placing holly, mistletoe, and a tree in the house during the Yule season brings the essence of nature and the wilderness inside during the darkest months of the year. It refreshes the home's energies and reminds us of the continuing growth and life of the earth. Placing candles or lights on the tree ensures that the household will have a year of plenty, warmth, and light. For decorations, you might wish to forego the usual glass ornaments. The silver ones are miniature witch balls. And hang oranges, apples, and berry bond nuts from its boughs, as was the custom in years past. So skip the ornaments and hang oranges, apples, and so my dried orange slices I'm going to be hanging from my Yule tree. I'll make them into ornaments. We'll do a DIY. And you can dehydrate apples, and inside the apple I believe there's a star when you cut it open. So we'll dehydrate some of those and do a DIY. Alright. Garlands of popcorn and cranberries are also good. Okay. I made that cranberry garland. I made a cranberry and juniper garland just because I thought it would be pretty. And now I'm reading in the book. It was a DIY I made on my channel. And now I'm reading in the book for the first time. Garlands of popcorn and cranberries are also good natural touches and lend their herbal magic to the tree. So, and who has never strung popcorn on a tree? That's witchcraft. Okay. I'm working on a video that's like things everybody does that's witchcraft, like blowing out birthday candles, or, I mean, the list is huge, right? But, girl, that's witchcraft. That's, yeah. So stringing popcorn. Cranberries. Did that. Was there another thing, or is it just popcorn and cranberries? Yep. Okay. Okay, so fragrant garlands made by stringing dried rosebuds and cinnamon sticks together add a nostalgic scent to the tree. I've got that, and I'll add maybe one of my wedding roses. So cool. So cinnamon sticks and rosebuds garland for Yule. Alright. A nostalgic scent. There are a few rules about domestic behavior on Yule. First of all, you don't do any excessive work. Okay. No excessive work on Yule. It's like the Jewish Sunday, right? Like they don't even cook on that day. Not even the Hasidic Jews, but like a lot of just practicing Jews, they rest on Sunday. And other religions as well, not just Judaism. There are a few rules about domestic behavior, no excessive work. If you enjoy handicrafts, refrain from spinning on Yule. No spinning on Yule. So, I mean, is that like spinning yarn? Tradition says that no one should sit before the wheel, okay, yarn, or take up the spindle on December 21st. Okay. For all of those witches out there who think they might want to do some spinning at their wheel on Yule, don't do it. I don't know what'll happen to you if you do, but eating an apple on Yule night ensures good health for the upcoming year. For good coming year. And good health. While a magical cleansing bath shrugs off the past 6 months, and you do another one it wouldn't be that. In another 6 months, whatever the, on summer solstice, you would do the next one. So, a cleansing bath shrugs off the past 6 months, worries and troubles. Mix pine, bay, and rosemary, tie them in a cheesecloth, and do the tub and soak. So, pine, bay, and rosemary. Cleansing bath. For 6 months. Alright, and on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are the other times steeped in the household magic, most of which ensures that the home and its residents will have a safe, comfortable, plentiful year. There are many traditional New Year's Eve rituals. Burning 7 candles on this night brings household luck. Where are we at? Okay. If you want more than luck, just light a candle on each side of a mirror 5 minutes before midnight on New Year's Eve. I have candles beside my mirror in my hallway. I'll make sure to do that. Then look into the glass and you'll see a vision. Yeah, another form of scrying. A few minutes before midnight on the eve of the new year, open the doors and windows for a few minutes to release any negative vibrations from the last year. Okay. New Year's Eve is also an excellent time to increase your beauty. At midnight, wash your face in well water and look into a mirror by candlelight, and you will improve your appearance. If you have a fireplace, you might want to try this spell. To be rid of the last year's banes and pains, bind your now obsolete calendar with wool yarn, so the calendar that's all done, and then place it in a hot fire while chanting. So to be rid of that, I love this spell. I love this spell. And you chant, "Burn, burn, you day book burn. Last year's worries never return." By placing rituals, I really just really like that. The preceding rituals are simple to follow, but some are more complex. At one time in Scotland, each resident of a household washed his or her entire body in water in which 3 live embers from the household fire had been placed. Next, clean clothing was donned, the house thoroughly scrubbed, every lock opened, and a shiny knife left near the front door. A light burning in the window all night topped off the ritual. On New Year's Day itself, there is much to do in the way of good luck rituals. First off, ensure that your pockets and cupboards are full on this day. Pockets and cupboards full on this day. Okay? New Year's Day. That way you'll have money all year. If you have greens in the house, on New Year's Day, you'll have plenty of green cash during the following 12 months. Okay? So the greens in the house would be plants, our microgreen. I mean, our house is full of greens, so hopefully that's really going to help us. But also greens in the fridge. Maybe that's why collard greens are a New Year's tradition. They're supposed to bring good luck all year, and in Japan it's buckwheat noodles. It's zarusoba. Okay, the preceding New Year's Day. Juniper incense. Or dried, crumbled juniper burned on charcoal blocks, that's what I do, ritually cleanses the home and is highly traditional. Grass and water can also be brought to the home to ensure plenty of food and drink. Burning bayberry candles is a pleasantly scented custom. An old poem goes, bayberry candles, when burned to the socket, bring luck to the home and gold to the pocket. Since you must let them burn down all the way, choose small tapers and then place them in fireproof holders. On New Year's Day, not before, it is permissible to hang up a new calendar and almanacs. So, if you're to hang up a calendar for New Year's, it needs to be on New Year's Day. Like, for 2019, it needs to be on January 1st. Period. Like, otherwise you're really bringing yourself some bad juju. Oh, wow. So I need to get me a calendar. I need to get my Lewin's calendars, and now I'm super stressed out. I'm seriously super stressed out now. If I don't have my Lewin's calendars by the 1st, like, and then what if I don't get them for Christmas? And Alex just told me today, you make sure that you don't get anything for yourself off your Christmas list, or I'm gonna have a... Okay. I just need to tell spirit guides to make sure that I get that. Like, I get them. Manifest it, Jennifer. Don't worry. Okay, burning bayberry. We talked about that on New Year's Day, not before. Calendars and almanacs. The next magical holiday, February 2nd, was once known as Imbolc. Imbolc. I-M-B-O-L-C. Imbolc. Isle milk, Candlemas, and by numerous other names. It is well known in the United States as Groundhog's Day. Okay. Imbolc celebrates the return of the sun after winter on this night, which the Romans dedicated to Venus. All the candles in the house were lit and torches carried outside to welcome the return of the sun. This custom can be followed today by briefly turning on all the lights in the house or lighting a candle in each room. A blazing fireplace is also highly appropriate. On the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, lettuce and peas are supposed to be planted in the garden. To spread loving energies through your home on this occasion, light 7 pink candles and a floral incense while visualizing your house flooded with this emotion. Remember on The Shining when that fluid came down through the elevators and went poosh? Envision rose petals instead of the red fluid, just flooding your space, just like that. Just imagine them coming in just a hurricane and crushing. But get good at your visualization, guys, because that is going to really help up your magics. And the reason why I said that thing in that scene was just because it just, to me, it was just such a good way for you to kind of grab onto that and understand what I mean. So if you haven't seen The Shining, sorry. This is also an excellent time to perform divinations, to discover future loves, or to simply cast love spells. Now, I'm going to go through into March, but then I'm going to stop at May 1st. And when May comes around, we're going to get back and get to reading more about what happens in the rest of the magical year, because we did stop and do some talks and stuff, and so it did, you know. But all of these ones are kind of coming up pretty soon, so we have them to look forward to and plan for, don't we? March often marks the start of spring cleaning. Bring the first flowers from the garden inside and open the windows to purify the house of its wintry isolation. If you have a garden, start working the ground as soon as the danger of frost has passed, which may be a month or so yet, from the point of March. As you plant, think magical thoughts. Oh, always, you guys, always. Visualize the seeds you are planting. And oh my gosh, this works so well, this part that he's saying here, because I've experienced it my whole life. From the time I was 0, I've been growing plants in the ground. We've had a farm. As you plant, think magical thoughts. Visualize the seeds you're planting, and as they'll be when grown. Strong, tall, healthy. Visualize being proud of them. Guard the patches with stones marked with pentagrams placed at strategic angles, the stars facing down so they won't attract attention. Sometime stars facing down so you won't attract attention. Everybody's always saying things that that's a bad thing, but look, Scotty's using it. I use it. Sometime in the spring, take a magical cleansing bath containing marjoram and thyme. Purifications and cleansing of the house in general are well suited to the spring, as are household projects such as repairing, painting, and remodeling. Before remodeling, leave an offering to the house and let it know what you're about to do. You know what? Your house does so much for you, and if you're gonna, that's like, literally, it would be like waking up in surgery, and nobody told you you're gonna have surgery, and nobody told you you were gonna, have an arm amputated and then this nicer arm put on. If somebody took my arm and put a nicer arm, I would be so upset. A part of my soul is in my tattoos, and I was just reading about how magical tattoos are in this book, and how the Egyptians used to paint henna on their arms for protection. And those weren't tattoos in ink, they were just temporary, but, man, it makes a lot of sense. As an empath, maybe that's why I put so many tattoos on my body, so I'd look really hard. Maybe that's why. So that I looked unapproachable instead. Whereas that's totally the opposite. When you have tattoos, you have so many more people approaching you. On March 21st, so yeah, before remodeling, leave an offering to the house and let it know what you're about to do. And talk to your home and, ask. For Pete's sakes, ask. Ask your house. Your intuition and your meditations will tell you. Your spirit guides will find a way to let you know the answer to your question. If you ask and things start falling off the wall and breaking out of nowhere kind of thing, just be like, oh, okay, you got it. You want the house to stay the same. Or just be like, house, we're going to remodel. Here's a plate of cookies or whatever offering you want to do, a giant thing of flowers, a fresh coat of paint. Here's our offering. Can we please do this remodeling because we want to be here with you. If you have anything wrong with this, give us a sign. We'll wait all day for a sign. If you don't give us a sign, then we'll know we're okay to proceed. And believe me, a couple weird things might happen that day, or nothing might happen, you might get an electricity bill that was like a credit instead of and your house may have wanted that, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? But really beautiful, amazing things happen when you ask and listen and trust. And that's all intuition is. Ask, listen, trust. Okay. The vernal equinox is celebrated March 21st. In days past, eggs, symbol of life, were colored. So that's getting into May. We're going to stop in March. Just leave it off there, but know that, Easter is Istara. Easter, celebrate the equinox. So we'll talk about that when it gets closer. You know, that's all the way out in, Easter's in April, isn't it? I think it is. Well, thank you for joining me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. Well, we did like some bits and snippets of the magical year out of the magical household by Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. I had a really good time with you guys. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you back for God knows what kind of video I'll do next. We'll see. Bye-bye!